It's Mr. Harris again, and I am single-handedly trying to make math cool again. Hopefully I'm doing a good job at it. I'm talking to you about third grade fractions. You know, a lot of people struggle with fractions, and so my objective is to help your student to get a better understanding of fractions with the Common Core curriculum. So we're talking about the standard 3 for third grade, NFA Point 2. Okay, so this is the second major topic that they want the students to know when it comes to fractions for third grade math. All right, so in the first one we talked about fractions and how to represent a fraction. Well, another way that they want students to know how to represent fractions is from a number line. Number lines are very, very important when it comes to mathematics. And so in this lesson, I'm going to show you how to represent a fraction using a number line. So let's draw this number line. And we're going to pretend that it's perfectly straight, even if it may not be. So in this number line, now, the way they want the kids to represent it is strictly between 0 and 1, okay? So 0 and then 1. 1 representing one whole, because if we're talking about fractions, the fractions all together make up one whole. So I'm going to start with a basic fraction. If I take this number line and break it up into 2 equal parts, I think that is perfect. So I have one section here and one section here, right? So I have a total of 2 parts, okay? So this first part would be 1 out of 2, and then this would be 1 out of 2, okay? So that means that this number that's represented right here in the middle would be 1/2, okay? So notice that the distance between this section is 1/2, and then this section is 1/2, okay? So we have 2 total sections between 0 and 1 that would represent the fraction 1/2 here and then 1/2 here. So technically, if we take this back, like I say, this first section is 1/2, the second section is 1/2, and if I have 2 pieces that are both the size of 1/2, then I have 2 halves, okay? And we'll talk about what that means in the next video, okay? So if I break this number line into 2 pieces, I have 1/2 and then 1/2. So that means this number here will be represented as 1/2. So let's go on to another example. So, and the important thing here is how we break this number line up. The number of sections, okay? And it's kind of like the number of pieces. They're all going to be equal size. So when we break this number line up, let's put our 1 again here. And let's go a little larger. Let's say we break this up into 4 sections, okay? So I have a section here, a section here, a section here, and a section here. So I have 4 total pieces on that number line, okay? So this is going to be 1/4. This would be 2/4. This would be 3/4, okay? Now here's the kicker again. Each of these sections has a size of 1/4. From 0 to 1/4, that has a size of 1/4. From 1/4 to 2/4, that has a size of 1/4. All right, so I have 4 pieces that are all the size 1/4, okay? And when I put them all together, they're going to be 4 pieces that are all 1/4 size, and we can actually, that is going to end up being 1. So on this number line, I can mark these numbers 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and then 1, okay? So these are all fractional pieces, okay? Now, students need to be able to identify those fractions on a number line, okay? And in most cases, they have to be able to identify that this right here is 1/4, this is 2/4, this is 3/4, and so on, okay? So let's try another example. All right, let's take those numbers off. And we are going to, let's redo the entire thing. All right, so number line once again, 0, 1. Let's go bigger. All right, let's go, I don't know, we'll check it out when we get there. I didn't mean to put that there, definitely not. All right, so let's go, we're gonna go 12. All right, well, we'll go 8. I'm sorry. So I have, if I have a size of 1/8 there, 1/8 there, all right, so each of these little spaces is 1/8 in size, okay? So each fractional piece is 1/8. So now we can label the numbers on the number line. So here we would have 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 7/8, and then if I have 8 out of 8, that's going to represent 1. Okay, so notice these are numbers that are represented on the number line. Now, one thing we must keep in mind is on a number line, any number can be represented on a number line. There is a space for any number. We're just showing you how to represent the fractional numbers on a number line, okay? And the distance between each of these is 1/8. So let's say, for example, you were asked to identify how much distance is between 2/8 and 5/8. Okay, so let's erase these other. We know, well, we don't have to erase them. We know we're going from 2/8 to 5/8. Okay, so what I can do is I see that 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there's 3 pieces that are 1/8 in size between 2/8 and 5/8. So if I have 3 pieces, and each piece is 1/8, then that represents, let's say 1/8, sorry for the smudge. So if I have 3 pieces, 1/8 each, then that numerator is going to represent, I have 3/8, okay? Because I have 3 different pieces and each one is 1/8 in size. So going from 2/8 to 3/8, so 1, 2, 3, all right? 3/8. So that's how we represent fractions on a number line. And we can make any size fraction. All that matters is how we break down the number of sections between 0 and 1 and make sure that they're equal in size. The total number of sections is going to be your denominator, and then each one is a unit fraction, okay? So that is the second major thing that they teach students in 3rd grade Common Core math, how to identify fractions on a number line, okay? And the amount of space between the numbers on that number line. Young Gurus Math Tutoring, I've got the solution to your math problems.